Hi, this is Ken Unger from Charge, and in this video we're going to talk about how to price your sponsorship. The most frequent question I get is how to price a sponsorship. There is no one right answer to this question, but we're going to go through 4 rules of thumb that are going to help you set the best price for your sponsorship. Now, the first thing you want to do is understand the goals of your sponsor. Do they want to enhance their brand as a result of the sponsorship with you? Do they want to sell more products or services? If you know their goals, you're on your way to setting a sponsorship price. Now, the first rule of thumb is cost to the sponsor. Now, during the process of discussing the sponsorship with your prospective sponsor, you're going to ask them what their goal is. If they say their goal is to improve brand, you'll want to ask them, how would you normally enhance your brand if you weren't engaging in a sponsorship like mine? That's important information for you to have because then you can attach a cost to that. For instance, if instead of a sponsorship with you, the sponsor would need to advertise, would need to engage in public relations, we need to do other things to enhance their brand, that is the cost to the sponsor. If you can estimate that cost and you could provide that equivalent value through the sponsorship, then you price your sponsorship based on that cost. For example, if they needed to spend $100,000 on an ad campaign to improve their brand the same way as they would with a sponsorship with you, then you ask for $100,000. Now, the second rule of thumb is value to the sponsor. So this is similar to the first one, except in this case, your sponsor has told you during the early discussion process that they want to sell more goods and services. And if you can estimate through exposure to your audience, the sponsor would sell so many products, then you can estimate what the value of the sponsorship is to them. For example, if you run a festival and 100,000 people a year come to your festival, and you estimate that 10,000 of those attendees would buy the sponsor's product, and you know that that product has a profit margin of $1 per unit, you know that the sponsor would make about $10,000 in profit as a result of your sponsorship. In those circumstances, you'd want to price your sponsorship at no less than $10,000 for that event. So the third category is the cost of the tangible benefits that you provide to the sponsor. In this circumstance, let's say it's a gala, and you provide a program ad, you provide signage, you provide the opportunity to address the attendees at the gala. You provide all these benefits as part of the sponsorship package. You take the cost of those benefits to you and you add them together. Now, once you know the total cost of your benefits package, I've seen 2 different ways that people price the sponsorship using this rule of thumb. First is they add a reasonable profit margin to it, something like 10 to 20%. Or I've seen a multiple approach where you take the total benefit package and multiply it by a multiple of 2 or 3. That is your sponsorship asking price using this approach. If you have a total benefits package of $10,000, you can ask $30,000 if you use a multiple of 3, $20,000 with a multiple of 2, or if you take the profit margin approach and on those items you wanted to make a 20% profit margin, you would ask for $12,000. The fourth rule of thumb is comparable value. There are other sponsors similar to yours in the market. The question is, what is that market price? What are those similar sponsorships asking as a sponsorship fee for their sponsorship? Sponsors are pretty savvy and they will shop around to other properties that are offering a similar sponsorship. You don't want to be lower than that price, but you also don't want to be higher than that price unless there are reasons to justify that high price. Knowing what comparable sponsorships charge for a sponsorship fee is going to be really important in setting your sponsorship price. There is no right or wrong to pricing sponsorship. These rules of thumb will really help you determine the best price. But remember, in the end, the sponsor is paying for their association with you. So no matter what, make sure that at least in your eyes that you're asking a fair price. If you have any questions about pricing or other sponsorship issues, please check us out at chargesponsorship.com. And if you want to be notified when future videos like this are posted, hit the subscribe button at the end of this video.